Welcome. Welcome to the 2021 finalist announcement for the 4th Annual Indigenous Voices Awards, also referred to as the IVAs. I'm Deanna Rader, one of the co-chairs and a Cree Métis literature professor coming from the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. The Indigenous Voices Awards, first established in 2017, honors the sovereignty of Indigenous creative voices as a way to support and nurture the work of emerging Indigenous writers in lands claimed by Canada. These annual awards recognize exceptional new work in English, French, and Indigenous languages, either unpublished or books that were released in 2020.
Hi, I'm Sophie McCall, and I'm also a co-chair of the IVAs and a settler scholar teaching Indigenous and contemporary Canadian literatures at Simon Fraser University. Through the IVAs, we try to transcend the individualism of prize culture and work instead to encourage community building. Our goal is to cultivate relationships between established and emerging Indigenous writers and to provide practical career and creative support. We're proud to tell you that some of the finalists in the unpublished categories in past years have gone on to publish their work and become finalists in published categories. This year, with support from Penguin Random House Canada, we coordinated several mentorship initiatives open to all the applicants to the IVAs, including workshops on publishing, PR and marketing, and how to make an audiobook.
Bonjour, hello, I'm Sarah Henzi, also a settler scholar, IVAs co-chair, and teacher at Simon Fraser University. I am the liaison for the Francophone content of the IVAs, and I try to advocate and promote Indigenous literatures written in French whenever I can, because they don't get as much spotlight. But believe me, there's a lot of work and a lot of it is fantastic. And if you don't read French, please know that more and more works are being translated into English, including some of our past winners and finalists. Through the IVAs, over the past 3 years, over $70,000 have been awarded to Indigenous writers. Some notable IVAs recipients include Billy Ray Belcourt, Francine Morasti, Tanya Tagak, Jessie Thistle, and Naomi Fontaine. IVAs finalists in unpublished categories that went on to publish include Brandi Bird, Francine Cunningham, Marianne Regil, Elaine MacArthur, and Smokey Sumac.
And who would have thought that during a pandemic, this would be the year that we received our highest number of submissions to date. As such, tonight's IVAs shortlist celebrates 27 exciting emerging Indigenous writers across 9 distinct categories and with finalist work from 18 different publishing houses. We'll start the announcement with our French and Indigenous language categories.
Nous allons commencer avec l'annonce des finalistes pour les catégories en français et en langue autochtone. Il me fait grand plaisir d'annoncer que les finalistes pour la catégorie œuvres en prose publiées en français sont the nominees for published prose in French are Émilie Monet, Okinum, Les Herbes Rouges, et Jocelyn Sioui, Mon oncle Jules, édition Anne-Norac. Pour la catégorie œuvres poétiques publiées en français, les finalistes sont nominees for published poetry in French are Shane Michael, Fif et Sauvage, et Félix Perkins, Boiteur des Bois, tous deux publiés, both published by Édition Personnage. And our nominee for published work in an Indigenous language is Zacharias Kunuk with Megan Kiak Monteith for The Shaman's Apprentice, Inuktitut, published by Inhabit Media.
And now for our finalists in published and unpublished poetry in English. So for published poetry in English, our nominees are Norma Dunning for Eskimo Pie, A Poetics of Inuit Identity, published by Bookland Press. SHALAN JOUDRY for Waking Ground from Gaspereau Press. Tyler Pennock for Bones, published by Brick Books. And Jay Simpson for It Was Never Going to Be Okay, published by Nightwood Editions. In the category of unpublished poetry in English, the nominees are Brandi Bird, Ode to Diabetes, Erica Violet Lee, A Manifesto for the Morning and Forever After, Shea McDonald, She Said to Me, and Samantha Martin Bird, The Indian Adultery Act and Other Poems. We have a new IVAS category this year, published graphic novels, comics, and illustrated books in any language. And the nominees are Lisa BOIVIN for I Will See You Again, published by High Water Press, Brianna Johnny with Nahani Chingus and Neil Shanakapo for If I Go Missing, published by James Lorimer, and Tasha Spillett, illustrated by Natasha Donovan for From the Roots Up, Surviving the City, Volume 2, published by High Water Press.
And now, the Indigenous Voices Awards nominees for prose in English. We'll start with unpublished prose in English. The nominees are Deanna M. Jacobson for Hockey and Chocolate, Amanda Peters for Waiting for the Long Night Moon, and Troy Sebastian for The Mission. In the category of creative nonfiction and life writing, the nominees are BEVANN Fox for Genocidal Love, A Life After Residential School, published by the University of Regina Press. Karen Pheasant Negawani for Powwow, A Celebration Through Song and Dance, from Orca Book Publishers. And Michelle Porter for Approaching Fire, published by Breakwater Books. And our final group of Indigenous Voices Awards nominees is in the category of published fiction. And we have Nathan Nakon Newton Adler for Ghost Lake from Kekononts Press, Jen Ashton for People Like Frank from Tidewater Press, Michelle Good for Five Little Indians from HarperCollins Canada, Michael Hutchinson for The Case of the Missing Auntie from Second Story Press, and Katlia for Land, Water, Sky, Nde Tiyata from Roseway, an imprint of Fernwood Publishing. Congratulations to all of the finalists. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really wonderful to see all these names. And we're very happy as well to see some familiar names from past years. For example, on the poetry shortlist, Saulteaux and Cree poet Brandi Bird was a finalist in the unpublished poetry category in the very first year of the Indigenous Voices Awards, and then a finalist with their first book of poetry published, and now again a finalist with brand new work. The jurors had this to say about Brandi Bird's poem, Ode to Diabetes. It is a powerful poem, skillfully blending contemporary and traditional imagery and intent, braiding illness and family love into a high-tech age. There is an immediacy of transmission of experience the judges appreciated.
Now, a name on the fiction shortlist that's received a lot of attention recently is Cree writer Michelle Good. Her book, Five Little Indians, inspired the following citation from the jurors. Quote, driven by sharp, precise language and full of compassion, Five Little Indians is a powerful story of resilience. The interwoven lives of these characters, their laughter and tears, remain with the reader long after the reading is done. Good has earned every last one of her many brilliant accolades.
We are also happy to share with you this beautiful citation from the poetry jurors about Oji Krisolto Indigiqueer poet Jay Simpson's It Was Never Going to Be Okay. This is an astonishing debut collection of poetry. Jay Simpson's work is a deeply heartfelt and powerful love letter to Indian kids in care, trans youth, indigiqueer kin, and many, many more. It Was Never Going to Be Okay is an important book that will continue to resonate for years to come.
We're also very excited about the submissions we received in the graphic novels category. And certainly this is an area of growth and strength in Indigenous writing and creative arts. And we expect to hear a lot more from each of these writers and artists. Lisa BOIVIN from the Dene Nuku First Nation not only wrote, but also illustrated her striking book, I Will See You Again. And Brianna Johnny, a young Ojibwe teen, worked with her aunt in creating the story, If I Go Missing, which is beautifully illustrated by Neil Shanakapo, who is Nakawe from Rolling River First Nation. And Korean Trinidadian writer Tasha Spillett worked with Métis illustrator Natasha Donovan in creating Surviving the City, Volume 2. This creative team won an Indigenous Award in 2019 for the first volume of Surviving the City.
And these citations are just the tip of the iceberg of all the work, care, and dedication that our amazing jurors have put into these shortlists. They are established, outstanding, award-winning, and critically acclaimed writers and scholars. As established writers, they've provided and continue to provide guidance, inspiration, and mentorship for the emerging Indigenous writers on these shortlists. We would give a heartfelt words of thanks to the following jurors. Thank you, Jordan Abel, Joanne Arnott, Carly Baker, Billy Ray Belcourt, Michelle Capal, Marjorie Fee, Marie-André Gill, Francis Langevin, Otonia Julianne Okot-Bitek, Katharina Vermette, and Michael Nicol-Yagulinis. Thank you, Miigwech.
And importantly, we also have to extend our very grateful thank yous to our amazing in-house support team, Katie, Allie, and Kim. Thank you. Now on Team IVAS for 2 years, we truly could not have done this, nor could we keep doing this. You are the ones who keep us sane. So thank you for all your hard work and dedication.
Yeah, that's a really important thank you. We'd also like to acknowledge generous support of the IVAs from longtime IVAs supporters, such as Pamela Dillon and Penguin Random House Canada, both of whom have supported us right from the very beginning. We'd also like to thank the Giller Foundation, the Indigenous Literary Studies Association, Scholastic Canada, the Centre for Equitable Library Access, and very importantly, the countless donors who have contributed to the IVA's crowdsourced fund over the past 4 years. We're very pleased to announce that this year, all 2021 donors will be automatically added to a draw. And if you win, you will get a pack of books from Penguin Random House Canada. And here are the amazing books that you might win. So please go to indigenousvoicesawards.org and make a donation, and that will add you to the prize possibilities.
And a big thank you to the team at Blue Metropolis, at Metropolis Bleu, for hosting our shortlist announcement this year. Please join us on June 21st, National Indigenous Peoples Day, as we announce the 2021 Indigenous Voices Awards. Visit indigenousvoicesawards.org to learn more. Thank you very much.